Okay, Sag, I'm in here on YouTube for the work readings, which are turning not so much. From the readings I've done up to now, it's not really about work, but nonetheless, if that helps you, whatever these readings are going in a lot of the intimate ways, not intimate ways, but personal relationships, no less. Here we go. The Pulp Tarot. What's your first card, Sag? Here we go. Four of Pentacles. This guy's in quicksand with the money. Grabbing onto the money before he goes under. That's the sense that I get here. Wow. That's heavy energy. It's almost like it don't matter what we do now, we're going under anyway, so we might as well grab the money while we can. Rob the bank, do whatever. It's almost like looting behavior. Like I'll grab as much as I can before I go down the drain. Whew. Yeah, that's dark energy there. Next card, Sag. Come on. Let's get out of this. The Sun card, okay. What's going on? Well, we got a ray of sunshine here somewhere. I don't know if it's just the money that's making us happy or what. But we got a kid here on one of them bouncy, I don't know what you call them, coil horses there that you used to have as a kid. Yeah, a lot of this energy, it just brings me to the springiness of a child to bounce back from things. So we may be hoarding our money at this time in order to bounce back, is the sense that I'm getting, which is good. Because I'll tell you that scrambling first card there, that's just a heavy energy to be in that for any length of time. So the Sun is here, and that makes everything a little lighter. We may be hoarding our money, but things may not be as bad as first perceived. Okay, well, let's move forward into the future and see what that has. Knight of Swords. Well, the Knight of Swords, he goes in to create a whirlwind. He's going after something. Now, that is not your element. You are fire, and that is air. So we may be communicating to find out something here in our field, is the sense. Give me a moment. I do feel a sense of calm from this Knight of Swords, actually. So, yeah, it's our opponents that are going to feel the pain, is what they're saying. So interesting. Because this person that they're kind of wielding, look at his face. It's stern and just is what I get here. And this person that's opposing them, they got a knife there. The sense is don't hurt me and I won't hurt you kind of thing. But I don't know that the guy underneath here is really willing to truce. This is kind of what I'm getting. We got vengeance here again. Man, can't get rid of that energy. No way, no how. Okay, let's go on to the second row here. As we get into the quote-unquote work, that's not really applying to these readings because a lot of them are just going in to personal areas. Now, on top of the Four of Pentacles there, what's the Infinity work card we get? Male boss. Okay. So we may have a money-hungry male boss around us. We may be that money-hungry male boss. We may be working I get the word boss in quotations, so boss up. Like we're trying to push our weight here some way, somehow. And I feel like the money is the way we feel we can do it, through money. Power up, you know. And for the most part, that is true. Unfortunately, doesn't mean that we're spiritually advanced in any way. But this could very much be true. We get the money, we get the power, and we're the boss. And you got to listen to me because I got the money. This kind of thing is what I'm getting here. So that could be you or someone outside of you doing this in your direction. The sense is I earned the money, I got the money, you have to come to me, you ask me, you beg me, and then we'll see. And that's the position that I'm dealing at this time in my life. I'm the boss. Okay. Again, this first row is like pounded with a lot of heavy energy. Okay, as we move on to the Sun card and we lighten things up like a child can be happy and free on their bouncy horse. What do we get there? Illuminate. Yeah. When we are illuminated, it can lighten things up and we can bounce back like a child. So again, I don't know if we're hoarding money because it's falling away from us, so we're trying to hang on to it before, or, you know, again, the quote I said, we're going down, so we're taking the money with us, this kind of thing. I don't know, there's something weird there. Maybe, you know, maybe this is more dire than I'm giving credit. I kind of laugh and joke things off because I like to lighten things up a bit. But maybe we are in the throes of losing our business. You know, maybe we're going down the drain here and suddenly we're going to have to claim bankruptcy. But we're going to take all the things we can as long as we can still fake it till we make it. But we're not making it, but nobody knows yet. This kind of thing. Man, this is very complex. But I do get a business sense, like there's a business going down here. The sun is illumination. I feel like our instinct is intact. It's illuminating us to what we need to carry forward here with dignity and grace. Because the sense is if we just go out and grab everything as long as we can, like as long as we can fake it. I feel like there's a fake mask here. So it's almost like, yeah, we're still in business, but meanwhile there's no stock in the back. And we're, you know, we're continuing to keep up a front, but it's not legit. This is kind of what I'm getting. Now, illumination's going to happen one way or another. Now, I mean, we are illuminated. There's no stock in the back, so we got to pretend that we're still flying. You know what I mean? Yeah, so I'm not quite sure. Let's move on to the Knight of Swords there, because that's where all the action is. That's where we're going to make progress here. And again, this is in the future energy. We got a circus show. No. Circus show 29. That means we're dealing with clowns. And if we're not one of them, the whole crew that we have here is one of them. Now, give me a minute here, because this male boss, when he comes in, he's got a lot of clout behind him. But he's losing his shirt, is the sense I get. You know, the finances are going down the drain quicker than we can count it. Or, you know, how would you say? Account it. Account for it. That kind of thing. Circus show. Now, give me a moment. I'm trying to... Because I was trying to attach a little bit of validity to this Knight of Swords. They're going, it's still there. But it doesn't... Okay. Doesn't mean that the people around us are a bunch of monkeys, right? We could be valid. And there could be maybe one person around us. They're going, no, it's us. We're the valid. Okay. So, Sag, you're the only... what do you call that? Oh, man. You're the only adult in a barrel of monkeys here is what I'm getting. We maybe have a lot of people around us that just really say yes, 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 but they're not accomplished. They don't know what they're doing. The circus show, when I made that card, it means that there's just people running around thinking they know what they're doing, but they don't. And, you know, babbling idiots is kind of what I get there now. We may be illuminated to the fact that we are surrounded by a bunch of babbling idiots. So let's carry forward in that energy, shall we? Because that will move on here. As we get into the Infinity Feminine, to go on this male boss, again, there's a financial situation here that's draining. There's a boss, no less. Like, we may be in charge here. On top of that energy, we have the Four of Earth. Ooh, that's a codependent energy. There's a woman here hanging onto a man's leg. Now the phrase makes sense. I earn the money. You beg for my forgiveness. This kind of thing. And this is what's going on. So we have someone hanging off our leg here. It could be... Why not just go in the romance area? Because every other reading's going that way anyway. And if it applies to work, then so be it. Now, we have someone here, you know, grabbing at our coattails here, trying to hold us back. Now, is that financially? Is someone... Now, if we're in a work scenario, there may be people here draining our finances, but they're codependent on us, and they don't want to be let go. This could be in a relationship area as well, where it's directly connected to the finances. This boss has come across some balances that don't add up here. And now we're going down the line. I feel like that's the Knight of Swords coming in. We're going down the line and being illuminated to exactly where that sits. And then now we may have figured out exactly who that is, and that person now does not want to let go. This is the point we're coming to. Okay, now the Sun card, illuminate. Again, this is where the illumination's coming in. On top of that, the feminine card we get is the Knight of Fire. There he is. There you are. That's your energy. Now, you are a knight no less, so you got a little bit of learning to do, but you've been through the rodeo a few times here. You got bucked off, but you got right back on, and you continue. Now, we're being illuminated to some things. We're just taking it in stride is the sense. Because, again, yeah, they're going, it ain't my first rodeo here. So if we got someone sponging off our finances, this ain't the first time we had to come across this and deal with this, and we will be dealing with it. Don't you worry. Now, the sun is illuminating right down the center. This is good because it blinds everything to the sides. It overshadows or enlightens, as I can put it, everything on the sides. So the circus show, it's not so, yeah, they're idiots, but whatever. I don't have to deal with them no more. I could fire them and get rid of them and hire a new one, a better one, and take more time to do that. Because the Knight of Fire, he moves a little quickly, so maybe that's what happened. We hired a whole staff here and not quite overseeing them enough, because we're busy off doing other stuff, that we didn't realize that our finances were slowly dwindling in certain areas here. But when we get into that Knight of Swords energy, which is out of our element, we're going to communicate and find out where this is, the root of this, and it always comes to the surface. So on top of the circus show, not my monkeys, we get the Eight of Fire, and that's about communicating as well. That's about co-workers. We're talking to co-workers. Okay, what happened? What happened with you? And we're going to put all the pieces together. And again, I think there's the typical, if we get a circus show, it means one person's covering for another, or one person will lie for another, but it's easily seen through. The Knight of Swords, he can kind of suss things out on a mental level. He knows where to go and what to do. Knight of Fire, and he has more than enough action to go after it and get to the root of it. So I feel like the Sag is hopping busy, and they're going to find out what's going on. And the calm demeanor from the Knight of Swords is only going to help them because he's a mental guy, and he may not cause a lot of havoc in the environment, but he's going to get to the root of the problem, and there may not be a lot of talking about what's going on before you realize you get your papers for walking, right? These boots are walking. So I feel like there's a lot of jobs on the line here, and I feel like the boss has come down here because he's the male boss. He's not a suit. He's not completely disconnected. He's in there enough to know what's going on. But again, still, you know, the boss has got to do other things as well. So there's a sense of either staff or somebody around us draining our finances highly. We're being illuminated, and we're taking action to find out exactly where that sits. We may have a lot of people around us not helping us directly, and indirectly not helping us. Like, you know, they're doing things kind of trying not to get other people in shit, but in the meantime, they're not helping us out. But the sense is, through communication and whatnot, we're going to put the pieces together and find out what's going on. Now, as we get into the Cat Tarot, on the Four of Earth, which again, there could be a very well a codependent relationship here. We may have someone clinging to us quite highly or trying overly hard to present to us that we're needy and you can't let us go. No way, no how, you know, the sob story, the whole bit. And they may be even the ones that are the most guilty of all of this problem. But nonetheless, carrying on, to expand on that Four of Earth, a need to want to stay. We have the Magician. Wow. Yeah. I feel like that's your energy, Sag. I feel like no matter what kind of chaos or what kind of sob story you get, you're going to keep your cool, reach inside and say, look, I'm sorry, but this is a consequence of an action here. If these finances weren't looked after, or that was your job, I'm sorry, but it's got to be sacrificed. This is a consequence. Like, I feel like they're not going to be tempered about it. Honestly, I feel like they're going to be zen about it, but they're going to make no bones. No, you're not keeping this job, and you're not staying here, and you're not clinging to me because I am, you know, my leg is no longer available for that anymore. Yeah. So on the Sun, we have, again, that bounce back energy. And I do feel like this Sag is going to bounce back quite quickly. This may or could have turned, for anybody else in a different energy field, could have turned bad real quick. But because the Sag is a fire element, they take action. And they also got the Knight of Swords energy behind them, is communicating to find out where this goes, where this sits. They're going to get the bottom of it and be illuminated really quick. And again, the Knight of Fire right down the center saying, I ain't losing my element here. I'm staying in my fire element, and you know, whoever's made this mistake is going to pay. Da-da-da, right? So their answer to me is what they said. They're going to answer to me. They can't get away with it. Like, you know, can't just get someone else to fire them. They're going to face the boss and have to explain this to them, is the sense. So on top of the Knight of Fire, the cat card we get is the Queen of Cups. Okay. Queen of Cups is about seeking, looking into our intuition quite highly. I feel like this person is very highly intuitive at this time. This is being illuminated. The universe is coming down and giving them signals, and may even be giving them clairvoyant visions, auditory hearing things in their mind, just like I was hearing these phrases. You know, you no longer can cling, you know, it's all these things. This Sagittarius is coming across this instinct in a certain kind of way. We may have darkness fall upon us, but it doesn't mean that we have to be of it. We can see our way through it. That's what I'm getting from this Queen of Cups. And it's on top of the Knight of Fire. So when we have that energy of instinct on top of the ability to take action, well, you can't beat that, can you? And behind that, the illumination process from the universe giving us the cards, it's all going to come down here. I feel like if we use our instinct, along with our head and everything like that, all down the road, I think it's just going to make a complete line where we know we're not wrong here. This is what's happening. And it may be someone that we actually put in higher esteem than they deserved, is the sense. Or someone that was schmoozing us and kind of pulling wool a little bit. This is the sense I get. But we're going to see through it because our instinct's being illuminated. As we move into the Knight of Swords energy again, the circus show is still there, you know, causing problems, but it's nothing for a knight that's not, you know, he's willing to take action, so it's not going to go very far before it's stopped. On the Eight of Fire, again, the communication between co-workers, people that I need to talk to are going to be talked to, and they're going to say, they're going to give me information that's valid, and not only that, they may not even think that they're doing any harm, because I do get a sense, okay, somebody here, like if we're talking to coworkers, like, oh, don't tell them this, don't tell them that, but inadvertently they're going to try and tell them as much truth as they can, and between the lines of that, this king, this knight, whatever, he's going to figure it out. This boss man, he's going to figure it out. Okay, now on top of the Eight of Fire, again, the communication in and amongst everybody, we get the Five of Wands. So there's going to be some conflicting information, is the sense. Again, there's a circus show here, so not everybody's going to be telling the same story. It's like there's 5 people in a group, and each cop takes them into an interrogation room, and they all get different stories. This is what I'm getting. So it's like, yeah, what did you hear from there? Oh, what did you hear from there? So we may have one person that's telling stories, 2 different versions to 2 different people. So this is kind of the sense I'm getting, is we may go out and communicate with everybody, and then round 2, we hear something secondhand, and it doesn't match any of the stuff we got. So I feel like, again, it's not going to take long to figure out the source. It never does. It always just floats to the top. Anyway, as we get into the last line of information here from the Infinity Masculine, on the top of the Magician, again, I do feel a sense of us when we use our instinct, our knowledge, everything's in line here, is the sense. And we gather all our facts and we do it properly. We're not going to leave any stone unturned here. We're going through everything with a fine-tooth comb. And when we bring that person in the office, they are not leaving here as an employee of ours. And they're going to know exactly why. And they're going to have their walking papers. And we will do on our side what we feel valid And again, that may seem unfair to the other person, but there's obviously a wrong that was done here, is the sense that I get. On top of that, Magician, the masculine card is the Knight of Earth. Okay. So in the male boss energy, that financial sector, this is all being ingrained. And when we end with the Knight of Earth, again, he doesn't make any swift movements. He just stays steady where he's at. In fact, he's off his horse, taking his time, making sure, horse, you want to feed? There's feed here. You want to, are you okay? Da, da, da. That's the thing. And even though we're firing someone, or the sense is if someone's neck is on the line here, the sense is we're not going to be, as my son would say, a dick about it. I hate to say that in my language, but we're not going to be, an arse about it, okay? We're not going to be an idiot. We're going to handle it in a Knight of Earth kind of way. We're the boss here. We make the money. These accounts and balances don't match up. Did you do this? Yes. Okay. Then we have to relieve you of your job. That kind of thing. I feel very calm demeanor. So that's good, because that bodes well for that boss. They don't incur any karma through this. Because the facts are the facts. We made a mistake here. And as much as you want to deny that or fight it, that's the facts. And it's kind of easier to deal with when you don't have somebody barking down your throat, because you want to bark back, right? So this is not the case. I feel like someone's going to attack calmly, and they're really going to sit with it a bit even before they bring it forward to that person and go over every single plane in their body and go, okay, emotionally, do I think I'm making the right decision? Mentally, does everything add up? This is what. So that's good. It's all good. And this may be all in line with what's going on already. Like this may all be in the past, our prep. It's just a fact of coming down and now using our instinct and going in there and saying our piece kind of thing. So on top of the Queen of Cups energy, again, a lot of instinct to move forward, action oriented and illuminated, and with the ability back in us to bounce back from this. There's a sense that we're losing our shirt here and the finances, but the sense they're giving me too is there is a high ability for this person dealing with things in this way to bounce back. Okay, so on top of that Queen of Cups, we get the Ten of Earth. What do you know? If you were an earth element, I would say you have perfected your life to get exactly what you want. But you're not an earth element, but you're very much in control, so much so that it's out of your natural zone to gain control of what means the most here. And I feel like when it comes right down to it, the reason that we are happy and bouncing back and instinctive is because we are taking care of our family. And this is what matters most at this time. And that's a good priority to have. It's even better than the money, right? Family, then money, then job, like job, money, whatever. Very closely knit. There. Okay, so that's all good, and that's right down the center. So right now, I think we're dealing with our family and how we're going to... I don't know that this boss guy, when you have a shift in the environment, it's not a big deal. It just may be a disappointment. But I think what we're prioritizing right now is our family, and this is kind of a hiccup on the side. This is the sense I'm getting. Now as we move into the future, again, that Knight of Swords energy. The circus show, I feel like either we're going to get rid of the ringleader here, or we're going to slowly transform that energy into a more workplace environment instead of a bunch of monkeys running around. And again, there's going to be communication meetings even. The Five of Wands, it's like the first while it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. People are going to buck you and argue and maybe not even tell you the truth. But this is what I think this Sag is going to be working to alleviate here. This little circus show that was there, they're going to dissipate it. Everybody go to their corners and then reassess. We may have been following a leader here that just didn't know what they were doing. On top of that Five of Wands, the masculine card we get is the High Priestess. Again, landing on our intuition. Now this High Priestess, she's kind of, doing spells and whatnot, trying to gain things. And I feel like as a male boss, as you go to the future, That's always the case. You're trying to gain more money, trying to gain more efficiency out of your employees. You're trying to. And I feel like that's what's going on here. We now have to pay attention to our staff to a degree that we got to make sure that they're all, floating in the right direction, So, interesting energy. I do get a high boss energy. I get a sense that he is the boss man, very much accepted as such. And not only that, he's in control, and he's going to stay in control even though he's got a little hiccup here because we got some finances dwindling a little too quickly. He's very much on the job, taking care of business, moving on, and then we're going to recharge what we lost is really what I got. Now the fortune card at the end, we have the lion. Harness the loyal and protective aura of the lion and the charge ahead magnificently. This is it. This is your energy. Yeah. It's that fierceness to attack things that need to be attacked when they need to be attacked and dealt with. And I feel like it's just a little speed bump because I don't feel there's anything here we're ill-equipped for. I think we've got it all covered. Not only that, we don't lose our cool. It's just not in the cards. And the 10 of Earth is that we got our priorities in the right place. We're trying to take care of a family along with everybody else here. And, if they're paying attention, they would have understood that anybody in their position would have done the same thing. So, the lion, loyal protective aura of the lion can charge ahead magnificently. So keep that in mind. I think that is there. It's highly affront. And Sag is a fire energy, so they make that known. That is ahead of them when they walk in the room. So yeah, it's just a continuation of a fierceness here that just will not be stopped. So that's good. We're using our instinct going forward. Our family is our priority, and we're taking it easy and paying attention to detail. So Sag, that's your reading for work or wherever it fits the best. Take care, have fun, and be kind.